Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Long time no see. I am still getting myself situated here. We just got back from dinner. My husband's birthday is tomorrow, so we took him out to a local steakhouse. I think he enjoyed it. And I'm still kind of getting myself reorganized here from being on vacation. I've got just so much shiza laying all over my craft room that I need to clean at some point. It's like this whole ordeal where it's like I'm gonna have to put the cats in the basement for it, and we'll get there eventually. Okay, sorry, figuring myself out. We are, as per votes, we're doing the long dresser. We're starting it. It's gonna be a multi-day thing. But it will essentially look like that. Today I think is going to be a lot of sanding, maybe some staining. I will eventually have to cut the slots out of those shapes. Mystery piece? K, that's a K. Okay. Looked like a V, and I was like, I don't have a V. Hi, Nexus. This should be an adventure, to say the least. I'm so glad I labeled these pieces. piece of wire. J. All right. Guess we'll go in order. So how's everybody been? I've been busy away. And I have not touched. We good? Sorry. My away was lovely. Very busy, and I'm still kind of mentally catching up from being away. I was not, you know, when you're vacationing and you're in charge of everything, and you're the one that planned and booked, and you're kind of leading the charge, and your mom, so you're like trying to show the kid around with him being all, you know, just trying to show interest and instructing and teaching and giving your 2 cents and trying to make sure that they're okay, and then being a wife and making sure the husband's having fun, and I just didn't get to like mentally relax. And then I came home and had to do chores. So otherwise, so we started off by going to Chincoteague Island, which I have been to before, but the last time I was there, we pulled into the visitor center and, that was it. Like, I don't even think we got out. We were just told that there were horses there, and, that was it. So we did a boat tour, where the tour took us around the island to see where some of the horses were, and a bunch of the horses had foals, and they were just so cute. They're beautiful horses, and we learned about how the fire company owns all the horses, and so like they auction them off, some of them, and some of them they auction off the naming rights, and so it was just really cool to see the actual horses. Yes, they are very protected, and over the last couple of years they've had to like introduce some other breeds because, you know, the genetics dwindled down there for a little bit, and so they had to like encourage that. And it was really neat. So we saw a bunch of horses, went on a boat. It was my son's first time on a boat too, so that was interesting for him. We got dinner on the island. We walked around the island for a little bit down like Main Street, and got dinner, made our way down. We took the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and then worked our way, and we stayed in Williamsburg for the week, and like right next to Williamsburg, like historic village, so, well, town, city, sorry, sanding noises, I apologize if it's too loud. So that was really nice. The hotel was really nice. I'd stayed there before. This was like a trip that I had done when I was little. I've done Williamsburg twice. And I'm going to move my camera over so you can see, but it's not next to it. So we stayed in Williamsburg, but we did a day at Virginia Beach, walked the boardwalk, went on the beach, had dinner, and then we came back. And so we did the historic triangle, where we did Jamestown, and And I don't know if this area wasn't open before, but the last time I did Jamestown, so there's like a reenactment area where they've got the fort and a Native American encampment and boats and things like that, and a museum. We didn't do the museum last time I was there, but we did it this time. And then you could keep driving, and you can actually go visit like where Jamestown was, which was, it was so cool because there's like a church there. They're digging up all of these graves and things like that, and they're finding where all the buildings used to lay and the original fort outline and things like that. They've got a museum there as well. Oh god, it was just, there was so much. They're starting to, when they're digging up the bodies, because a lot of them are so close to the water line, they're starting to inter them elsewhere. And one of the ladies I was talking to was saying that they're probably going to do like a mausoleum or some sort of mass interment elsewhere because it's just too dangerous to do. Yeah, dangerous, I guess, to reinter them where they were. But they said there's probably 1,100 graves in Jamestown that, like, they weren't marked because the colonists didn't want the Native Americans to know that their numbers were dwindling because that was seen as weakness. So they would bury them under buildings and things like that. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of archaeological digs. When I was there, they were digging up a well. They just found a map of the actual outline. They think it was a spy map, and they found it in, like, the Spanish archives over in one of their museums of, like, what they thought the actual outline of Jamestown was. And then on top of Jamestown, there was, like, this whole Civil War thing. So it's just, you know, there's just so much going on there. So we did all of that in one day. We did Williamsburg the next day, where we did, like, half of it. We went in all the buildings and, or most of the buildings, a good number of the buildings. Half of the buildings. And there's so much more there than there was before. New buildings that they've put up, and they're also doing archaeological digs there, and they've got a museum, and they've got, you know, the tours of some of the, like, the Capitol building and things like that. So we did that. Then we did Yorktown, where we drove the Yorktown, like, battlefield, where we saw where each point of the war was, where their first push on Yorktown was, by the Patriots versus the Redcoats, and then the second embattlement, and then where they did the two little, oh, what were they called? Not deports. They were like tiny forts that they had built. Itty bitty little holes in the ground with steep walls. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Redoubts, that's what they were. Where, like, Redoubt 9 and 10 were attacked, and then Yorktown proper. And we drove all around that, where they kept all of their cannons, and where they, like, Washington's fort originally was, and there was a museum there. And then we did the American Revolution Museum at Yorktown, where they had, like, this huge museum, and then a farm outside, and a cannon shoot off, and what the battlefield encampment looked like, and that was really cool. That was Rob's favorite thing, I think, because he likes the war history of it, whereas I like the everyday life. So for me, Williamsburg was my favorite, and Jamestown, and then, like, Yorktown was Rob. So having both sides of that interest for Phoenix was good. My stepson, good for him to see, like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's not just Bailey, who's super interested in this, it's Dad too. But Phoenix really liked seeing all of it. Because, you know, he was just learning about the American Revolution. So to go through, like, the steps that lead up to it. Yeah, we did. It was Jamestown first, then Williamsburg, then Yorktown. That's the... Yeah. I mean, Williamsburg's stick around... Both of those cities stick around for a long time. Williamsburg and Yorktown, but in their setup, it would be Jamestown, Williamsburg, Yorktown. So, after Yorktown, we did the rest of Williamsburg, and we had dinner... No, sorry, that was the next... No, that was that night. We had dinner at one of the colonial restaurants there. That was really cool. So we all had, like, colonial era food for dinner. So good. And after all the historic stuff, we spent a day at Water Country, which is the Busch Gardens water park. I need a different file. Need something with more grit. Loud. I'm sorry. This is an obnoxious noise. So Williamsburg is the beginning of the Revolution, and Yorktown is the end of the Revolution. Like, Yorktown was the final big hurrah, and then 2 years later the Revolution is deemed over, even though Yorktown was like the final battle where the white flag was flown. So, Williamsburg is 1775. And Yorktown is 1781. So that was really cool. We did, after Busch Gardens, we got back and we did a Cry Witch trial at Williamsburg, where they used an actual trial from the time, and we were all asked to put ourselves, like, mentally back at that time to judge whether this woman was a witch or not. And it was like 62 to 16. It was like a Salem witch trial kind of a thing, but, you know, the witch trials weren't just happening in Salem. King James was like this expert on witches. Besides writing the King James Bible, he also wrote this huge book on witchcraft and devil worship and things like that. So, like, there was this belief that people were witches, and for a long time it was a felony punishable by death. So, and even after it became not punishable by death, it was still punishable by, like, jail time for being a believed worshiper of the devil or a witch. They took this trial that happened in Williamsburg, and they played it out for us, and we were all jurors. We had to decide the fate of this woman, essentially, whether she was a witch or not. And she stood accused of blighting somebody's crops. She was seen to turn into a cat in somebody's dream, and she was thought to have cursed her neighbor's wife with having a miscarriage. So during, you know, they had all these witnesses come up, and she essentially damned herself by saying things like, you know, she started like talking back to these witnesses, and you're not supposed to do that. So like she was essentially reneging her ability to plead her case, and for any of us to be able to ask her any questions. But we were allowed to ask the witnesses questions, and you know, mentally we're supposed to be like, okay, well, you know, what would we have done back then? And so the judge actually asks her, he says, look, if you can say the Lord's Prayer without stuttering or faulting, we'll consider you a free woman. And she starts to say the Lord's Prayer and passes out. Just like full on loses consciousness. And like, well, she's a witch. Like, she couldn't get through that. She floated abnormally in the water. She blighted this woman's crops. There's no other reason for that to have happened. Like, I guess if she would have gotten through the Lord's Prayer, she might have had my vote. But, unfortunately, sorry, lady. Nowadays, I can scientifically put myself in that place and go, well, I can really say, okay, well, this is what happened, and these are why these things happened. But it is just absolutely fascinating how people thought back then. Anyway, but that was really cool, so we did that. And then we went through the Shenandoah Valley, Mountain Valley Range to get home, and we stopped at Luray Caverns. Oh boy. So when I last went to Luray Caverns, it was a hole in the ground where you paid for somebody to come and walk you through it. And there was like maybe a little museum and a gift shop. Holy crap. Holy crap. This thing is a huge tourist attraction now. There's like a hedge maze and zip lining, and the gift shop is huge, and now it's walk yourself through, and here's a pamphlet. And I looked at my husband and I was like, I'm so sorry, because my husband doesn't do well with crowds, and neither does my son. And I'm just like, this. And of course, the people that came in behind us, it was like a troop of 40 people off a tour bus that were hooting and hollering and yelling through the caves, and we're just like, oh my god, why are we acting like this? And everybody wants to stop and get pictures, 12 different angles, and everybody, ugh. And we're just like the first half of it, I'm just like, oh my god, what did I get us into? But then it, like, slowed, like, everybody eventually fell behind us, and we were good to go. But holy crap. Had I known that, I would have stopped at, like, one of the other caverns, but I thought Luray Caverns was cool when I went last. So that was, yeah, that was crazy. But we got home. The traffic wasn't bad in either direction when we went. I was really grateful for it. Got home, safe, sound, passed out for like 3 days straight afterwards. Still trying to catch up on housework. Still trying to get back in the mood to do, like, mini stock. Keep telling myself, I'm like, I'm gonna go home and do it. I never do. It's mostly this room. If this room weren't a mess, I would feel more motivated to do it. But cleaning this room involves putting the cats in the basement right now. So when I get the energy to do that, clean my room. Maybe this week. Because I'm starting to get low on a bunch of my items. Anyways, so that was my adventure. How has everybody else's last 2 weeks been? And again, I'm just so sorry that this is an awful noise. Yeah, so Phoenix had never been on like at a water park before either, so that was its own adventure. He is afraid of heights, so Rob was not sure about it for him, and I was like, no. Like, if we had gone to like Busch Gardens proper with the roller coasters, I would have understood. It's a water park. He's gonna try. Because most of them you can go down with a buddy, too. So, to me, like, I am afraid of roller coasters because I cannot stop them. I am not afraid of water parks because I can just get off. You know, he loved it. He had an absolute blast. So now I've got a water park buddy. And we got there just as the park opened because, well, so I had paid for my ticket, and you get that, like, order page that it's like, okay, your order's been placed. We'll send you a confirmation email. And I never got a confirmation email, but I had an order number, so I tried calling and texting and emailing, and I didn't get a response until, like, we got there with my order number, and I'm like, hey, I never got our tickets. And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. I didn't want it to be this huge problem where it's like, well, if you don't have the tickets, you can't come buy more tickets. We're not refunding you. So that wasn't the case. Thankfully, they were very understanding and very accommodating. So, but we were there when the gate opened. So we got through all of the water slides that were like our age range. We didn't do like the kiddie pools or anything like that. We did, I think it was like 7 water slides and the lazy river in like 4 hours. So we went around and did like most of them a second time before we left for the day. So it was great. And I think he had an absolute blast. And I certainly hope it was a good experience for him. I hope so. I hope it's something that he remembers. But came home, still trying to get in the mood for minis. Been working on Christmas ornaments instead. So how have you been, Nexus, now that I'm done rambling about things in my life? You went to the Dallas show, right? My mom went to the Dallas show. she was handing out free Miniaturist directory things for me. I was getting emails while I was away. You might have seen them there. You would have hunted her down? Oh yeah? Don't do that. How was the Dallas show? Good? Crowded with lots of young people. Yeah, that's what she said too. Lots of young people. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm telling you, it's not a dying art. It's not a dying hobby. Good. I'm glad. I keep seeing the Vegas show. I think it's IMOMA. 40%. That's great. Oh my gosh. You want to go? Yeah. It looks phenomenal. I can't afford another dollhouse convention this year. They had asked me last year if I wanted to come sell, and now that I'm seeing all these people that did go sell, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could ever go. I'm gonna stick to my small shows here. Thank you for the invite, but I am not that good. It's also a bit of a hike for me. The plane tickets to Vegas aren't that bad. I think the last time my husband and I went out to Vegas, it was like $1,500 for the two of us to fly and stay in one of the casinos on a deal. Because you can get those like flight and air and, room packages. Looks like a great show, though. Absolutely phenomenal. Do you know what it is, Nexus? Can you look up the dates for it? I don't think I have it on the free miniatures directory. Sanding is my least favorite part. Cutting and sanding. I feel like it's never enough. Yeah, so it's been like non-stop since the beginning of June, because it was like, no, I'm sorry, since May, because it was Mother's Day weekend. I was in that wedding, and then it was something else. Then my birthday, and then our anniversary, and then vacation, and then Father's Day. Right? Father's Day, then our vacation, then Rob's birthday is tomorrow, so we went out tonight for it. It's just been non-stop. Then after this week, we've got like a thing booked every weekend for the rest of July. We had a family reunion yesterday and a baby shower. And tomorrow we've got Rob's work picnic, and then, or not tomorrow, next week, and then we've got a first birthday party, and then we've got which show? The IMOMA in Vegas. IMOMA. International Miniature... Nope. I don't know. I don't know what it stands for. Sawdust. Scratchy, awful noises. Because, man, if that's the same weekend as the Magic Convention, we'll go. We will go. Rob's trying to get back out to Vegas one of these days for the Magic Convention that happens out there. February. February, yeah. Yeah, maybe not. It'd be a good time for me to go during work. Because we're still slow in February. This is my last semester of school. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe not next year, but the year after. Not to sell. Obviously, I can't drag my stuff. I decided that dragging my stuff anywhere outside of the tri-state area is not worth it for me. I will happily go spout like free Miniaturist directory stuff elsewhere, but I'm not dragging Blueberry Hollow out. I cannot. I'm not. No. I think next year, show-wise, I might do Delaware, Lancaster, and Philly. I might up it to 3 shows. Or if I don't do Delaware, I'll do Lancaster, or I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, next year is our year of doing house projects, so maybe 2 years from now I'll get out to Vegas, see what that one's like. Rain is something else, man. We've got non-stop thunderstorms every day. Not a lot of vendors on the list yet, but what is there is more modern. Yeah, I think it's a newer show. I think well, That's the way it's all moving now anyway. Speaking of shows, I need to pay Kathy. Keeps popping up in my brain. Hey, write that check so you can actually sell at Philadelphia Miniatura. Which means I have to put together a picture portfolio. Bio. Oh, I'm sure it's awful. This is not ASMR. For me, at least. Some people like the scritchy, scratchy, tappy, tappy noises. This is, so Rob jokingly calls it ASMR instead of ASMR. This is definitely ASMR. It don't sound good. I'm sure it don't sound good. I have my mic away from everything too. I feel bad. Oh, you may notice too that even when I'm quiet, you can't hear the anime anymore. We just got ourselves a sound bar for the TV. so all the noise is directed at your face now and not towards the craft room. Yeah, we're just gonna get through some sanding tonight. Oh man, good thing like Craftsman and Brian Davis aren't watching this, because they'd be like, what? So unprofessional in my sanding. I'm sure there's a trick to all this. Should probably put like content warnings in the rest of these videos where it's like, may cause scratchy noises. Sure. But what's the right way? That's what I'm curious. Like, am I supposed to go with the grain or against the grain? I don't know. Circles? Like what? Precision cut for minimal sanding with the grain, no circles. Why no circles? That helps. I don't know what that means. Precision cut. That doesn't happen. I can't do that. I'm working with an X-Acto knife here when I cut out my pieces. That is the wrong. Because the stain will settle in the circle scratches. Oh, always with the grain working towards finer sandpaper. Okay. I feel like it just gets more fuzzy though. Covered sawdust. I'm gonna work on stuff until 9 tonight because I'm sure you guys just don't want to watch me sanding things. Whatever I don't get done, I will sand on my own. We'll come back to this next week when we're probably staining. Or maybe I'll stain and we'll just start piecing things together. I don't know. What do you want to do? Do you want to watch me stain things? Or is it basswood? It's whatever the softer one is. So probably basswood. Right? Basswood is softer than balsa. Balsa is softer? Oh, I don't know. Then it's balsa wood. It's really soft. Whatever it is, I can put my nail in it. Oh, I still have to upload videos from our super stream. I'm sorry I didn't do that yet. Like I said, I've been trying to catch up. And, like, mentally not feeling it. So, I will get to it. I promise I will put up all the videos here soon. I have to edit them because somehow they, like, filmed in pieces. So I will get to them. Hopefully this week. The blog did go up after I got back from vacation, so that is up if you're caring to read that. I will have Patreon content hopefully this coming weekend. Just a couple of updates on that, because I think what I'm gonna do is like some ASMR, watch me sort some stuff in my room kind of a thing. Actual ASMR. Or watch me put up things that I've had for 2 years sitting around that I'm supposed to put up on my dollhouses. Maybe I'll get my mom involved in that one. I don't know. We'll see. Gotta figure out the logistics of that one. I don't know. Maybe I'll put up a poll. See what you guys want to do. Having trouble getting interaction on my social media. So if you do see something like on a story or on my Facebook or Instagram post, please feel free to actually like have an opinion. Even if you don't watch these, or even if you're not like totally into the social media, or oh, my opinion doesn't count. I had a poll up and I got 3 votes. And I have like 200 followers. So I know you're seeing them. I know you. I see them. I see your faces. It comes up as so-and-so saw this. So, have an opinion. Your opinion matters to me. Also, I see that you're liking pictures of me, like pictures of my product. That's another thing. That's just been so funny to me. It's like I'll post a picture of like all my creations and I get like 5 likes, but then I post a picture of me on the beach and I get like 20. It's not the point. That's not the point of this site here. I mean, I appreciate the likes, but also. I have a question. Okay, I'll answer that later. So we got 15 minutes left. So we'll be doing furniture stuff until fall. Or until I run out of furniture pieces to make, at which point we will figure out what we're gonna do next. Either I'll be doing like putz videos where I'm making stuff for Philly Miniatura, or we'll be doing like kits that I just have laying around. I don't know. Maybe we'll put that to a poll. We'll see. What do you guys want to watch? Ooh, that would be fun for Patreon. Poll, for me to do kits and, like, review them. That's the thing. If you're a mini maker or a kit maker and you want somebody to review your kits, I am happy to do them. I don't know how you do the polls. So, I put up polls on my Instagram story, which are like the quick blurbs that, for those of you who aren't familiar with Instagram, there's an Instagram post where you're posting a picture that you can see at any point, and then there's an Instagram story, which is like a quick blurb post that only lasts for a day. I put like announcements on there and things like that. You could do short videos, sure. But typically it's to post about, oh, I have a new post up, or I made a new reel, or this is happening tonight, or I am tagging someone in this. Like, it's a short thing. It's meant to only last a day. I really don't know why that's a thing, but it certainly keeps me organized with, like, not bogging down with posts. Posts I find to be more significant and important and things like that. So, anyway, but there are options where you can put up links, you can put up polls, you can put up like a do you like this kind of a thing. You can put up silly little quizzes if you want. So I use that to put up polls, and I also put up polls on my Facebook, which is a feature that you can do in any of your statuses. It's like so you can always find my polls up, and or if I don't do that, I'll make an Instagram post where I'll put comments underneath of it where it's like for this option or like for that option. Just if you just keep up with my social media in various forms, you will see polls, you will see questions, you will see all sorts of things. I try to actively post throughout the week. And now that I'm back from vacation, I can get back on my schedule. Because I do have a schedule. Monday is Motivation Monday, and Tuesday is Try a Trend Tuesday, and Wednesday is Progress Report, and Thursday is Stream Theme Thursday, and Friday is Shop Update. Saturday has been typically random posting, Patreon posting, or what I'm lovingly calling Saturday Bailey analysis, where I'll just post a picture of me and make comments. Like, this is the one here. I'll show you the one that I had yesterday because I was grump. Ooh. I was just so exhausted. Where is it? I'll find it. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. So I'll do something like that where it says Saturday Bailey analysis, and then up here it says Christmas ornament supplies. It has husband binging anime, makeup on point, mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially exhausted, grump nap. It's just silly. It's like so you just click in the quick post. So I will show you. So if you go to Instagram, you'll have like all your people that you follow up here that'll have their stories, and if they've got that colorful ring around them, that means they have a new story. These are all your posts and reels and things that you watch, right? So my stories today is talking about the votes, but you can put multiple up. So let me show you one of somebody who usually has 1.5 million stories up. Here she is. So this girl has 1.5 million, but in order, so she's not bogging down her normal, oops, no, don't send things to her. That would be weird. It's just quick thoughts, or like, ask me anything, or she'll put up, when do you think My Chemical Romance is gonna put out their new album, like, you know, quick blurbs that are meant to disappear eventually. I mean, these are people that devote their careers to social media, you know. They're influencers. She's getting paid and tons of product from various clothing lines and music people and magazines and things like that to like promote these things. So, I mean, that's her job, is to constantly do that. She's a promoter. She's an influencer. That's, you know, it's like what being a socialite was in the 20s. You know, this is what they do. Or a philanthropist in the 1800s. It's just a different word now. It's an influencer now. So, you know, these people can do that. I try to at least post once a day on my various social media. But it's fun because people are still stumbling across things that I posted from like my birthday or like even before that. Depending on how their algorithm comes up. And that's how I get followers. But the story stuff, that's just like, hey, check out my stream tonight. I'm not going to make a post about that because it's for tonight. It's got to last 24 hours. Sometimes I'll take my stories and make an entire like video on them. Like if I've got 1 million things that I'm posting about that I want people to continue to see, like my week in progress Wednesdays or work in progress Wednesdays, I'll post like, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is going up in the shop this week. New blog is up, new video is up. Check out my Patreon. Here's how you can support. These are the different tiers for my Patreon, and then check out the free Miniaturist directory. You can support that way too, kind of a thing. But because it's multiple story things, I'll just make a video of it and post it as a post as well, so that people can go back and see it. Because after 24 hours, that story disappears, but after 24 hours, that video will still be up, and they can check out whatever they want to check out. I don't know, it's weird. I like to post in various formats. It might not be the most bestest way to do it, according to like other social media people, but keeps my people informed. That's all that matters. I like I said, and I've said this before, and I will continue to say it, I hate posting as much as I have to. Because I am not a person that is used to talking about the things that they do. On this level, like, I used to be a post maybe every other day on Facebook with a silly blurb or something that came up in conversation, or, you know, but now I have to be like, hey, check out my stuff, like my stuff, you like my stuff, continue to like my stuff. If you like my stuff, you might do this, and you should support me, please support me. Like, that just hurts me to do. Just, ugh. But at the same time, I'm over here like, how do I get more Patreon supporters? I don't understand. I've got 3, and I appreciate all 3 of you, but how do I get more? I post about it nearly every week. Though somebody suggested Reddit recently. I might have to try that one. What do I have to do to draw people in, you know? Reddit does cover everything. Reddit is like that one part of the internet that I've managed to stay away from for the most part, unless somebody has sent me a link to like something that they wanted me to read. I am never on Reddit. I never seek out Reddit. Reddit is good for crowdsourcing, though. Yeah, it's just a major forum that does everything. So, like, I did... For my mini CR project, I briefly looked at a couple of Reddit things for, like, demos of songs or a list of every track that my chem has done, or for like lyric meanings or something like that, but like that's because the my chem wiki didn't have everything, so like that's what it's good for. It's things like that where, okay, this person went to this concert and heard this demo, let's use that. I wouldn't say it's, like, scientifically good. I wouldn't seek it to, like, just go down a rabbit hole. But then again, I don't like doing that with, like, Reels or Instagram posts either. So I will get, it will maybe get me for 20 minutes of my day, where I'll just, like, doom scroll for... just to clear my brain. That's about it. Like, I don't internet well. Alright, let's do these guys and then we'll call it. So let's go over what we gotta go over, I guess. Pull up my link tree so I don't forget anything. Who is texting me? Sunny D vodka seltzer. That sounds awful. Sorry, my friend sends me memes all the time. That's like, if I didn't get memes from him, I probably wouldn't get memes. Oh, let me show, because I know my mom is watching this. So back to your story, right? So down here, there's, I can't. Down here, there would be a section where it shows you a couple faces, and it won't show me right now because I guess nobody has seen it or my internet's being funny, but there's a couple of blurbs or little bubbles that'll pop up there, and then you can pull that up and it'll show you people who have seen your story. Hope that helps, Mom. Yeah, it'll have like the faces of your followers or people who have stumbled across your story for some reason. Because, I mean, my profile on my Instagram is public, so anybody can see my profile. So anybody can see my stories and anybody can see my posts. So it will have those little bubbles down at the bottom, and you just poke that, and it brings up all the people that saw it or voted or had like a question in your like ask me anything or yeah. So I'll see like 20 of my followers will have looked at my story, but only one person has voted. Why are you doing that? Just vote. Just vote. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you don't give a damn. Just have an opinion. Any opinion. Click willy-nilly. I don't care. So anyway. So I pulled that up so that I could have my link tree up. Someone who loves me. Yeah. Link tree. Okay. So, for those of you new to my stream, this was not a very fun one to begin on. I'm sorry. Mostly sanding and scratchy noises and me talking about my vacation. Hi. I'm Bailey Carr Zimmerman, and I am the owner of Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. I've been collecting miniatures for close to 25 years now. Probably 25 years. Oh, God. Yeah, close to it. Anyway, I have been making minis for the past 3 actively. And I come from a long line of miniature people. Just lost my train of thought. Just completely blanked there. Give me a second. It's because that part's not usually in my spiel. Anyway, so for the last couple years I've been making minis, mostly food or vegetables, some meats, some fish, some fruit. Now I am on to making things specifically for me because I need a break to catch up on stock for the Philly Miniatura. I try to stream on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sundays, with the exception of my super streams, which are announced prior to, and those are like a 2 to 3 day kind of stream where I'm just doing all sorts of stuff. I try to do those quarterly. If you are watching this on YouTube and you would like to check out my Twitch, you can check that out at Twitch at Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, and likewise if you are watching this on Twitch and want to catch up on any of my previous videos, you can catch up at my YouTube, which is also Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. If you'd like to read my blog, which I update monthly, right now we are telling the stories of Blackberry Hollow Miniatures, which was my grandmother's stories that she created, and the bears and the dollhouse that she created, with the intention of getting her art out there. But in that process, she created this world that I came to absolutely adore and built upon, and that's where Blueberry Hollow Miniatures gets its namesake from. So I am going back through, writing up those stories for you to read, and newsletters and things like that, with some commentary on what is no longer canon, what doesn't make sense, things where this related to what was happening in my real world at the time. So it's a really neat little series of blog posts, so I hope if you are interested in reading them, or you have a small child that you would like to read them to, they make great, wonderful little quick bedtime stories or things like that. And that's blueberryhollowminiatures.wordpress.com. If you like what you see me making, well, not this season, but if you go back and you watch any of my videos and you would like to purchase anything from Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, my Etsy is Blueberry Hollow Minis. You can follow my Facebook or Instagram at Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, or my TikTok at Blueberry Hollow Minis as well. I do have a Patreon, like I mentioned earlier, that is Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. There are 3 tiers currently that you can sign up at. $1, $5, and $10, and they each get you exponentially more things. But that is devoted to exclusive content that is not always necessarily Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, but it is miniatures or crafts in general. I have posted about my HO train scale project. I have posted interviews with my mother. I have posted some of my sewing projects. The only thing that I'm kind of bummed that I can't post about are my Christmas ornaments, because some of the people that follow my Patreon are getting them. So I have no one to show them off to except for my husband. It's fine. But some of the rewards you can also get by supporting me through my Patreon is, you can get free admission to the Philly Miniatura, you can get one-on-one craft advice, you get shout-outs. I do owe someone a shout-out. Thanks, Mom, for being my $10 supporter there. But thank you also to Craftsman and to Monica, who are also supporters of my Patreon. I really appreciate every amount of support that I get, whether it is a like, a comment, a subscribe, or a follow. It, like, all of that means something to me. So I know she loves me. There's not a doubt in my mind. But I just... every little bit does count and means so much. So thank you to everybody who does support me in that way. If you also can subscribe to me on Twitch now, so that's great. So there are multiple ways that you can help out or show your love for Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. If you want to support in another way that is not monetary, you can join my craft to-do list challenge. That is a Google document that details all of my products, listed by order, listed by priority, of what I need to do, because it's like low on product. But if you go on there and you say, hey, I want you to get this thing done, I will do it. Because that gives me the motivation to work on something, because I am doing something that somebody has told me to do, and you get whatever the heck you get out of bossing somebody around, you weirdo. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is privately message me your email address, and I will add you to the Google document, and we can go from there. If you are a miniaturist yourself, whether you are a recreationalist, whether you are a vendor, you only do shows, or what have you, any form of mini person, I don't care what scale you are, I don't care what country you're in, I don't care if you're just in a club, I don't care if you are a lone wolf. Whatever you do, I hope you will consider joining the Free Miniaturist Directory. It is my mission to try to collect as many miniature resources as absolutely possible and list them so that this hobby does not go to the wayside here. Make it more available to the younger generations that have trouble finding the older generations that don't know how to market themselves. Completely free. There are tons of submission forms on there. I am happy to help you set up your own little section on there, so please consider doing that. If you know of any shows or vendors or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to them and have them submit that information. That can be found at freeminiaturistdirectory.wordpress.com. And if I forgot anything, you can check out my link tree. Thank you. My link tree is linktr.ee/blueberryhollowminiatures. Alright. And with that, the next couple of weeks are going to be furniture. I'm going to try to finish sanding all of this down in the next week. I'm going to try to get back into making product. not slacking off on that because I'm slowly running out of stock on things, which is a good thing because it means things are being bought, but at the same time, also not good because I need to keep up on that so I have stock for Philly Miniatura. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, take a breath. I've non-stop talking all night. Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it, and I will see you next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. where we're maybe gonna stain this stuff. Hopefully. Keep an eye out for Patreon content if you are a subscriber. Keep an eye out for posts and blog stuff and all sorts of fun things because I do regularly post. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their night, a lovely week ahead of them. Stay dry if you're in Jersey. Holy crap, this rain. It's been non-stop. Have a great night, everybody. Love you guys. Bye-bye.